if you're having a bad week, bad mental health day, this will turn it around. Number one, Danny DeVito gets laid, as always. Number two, this story out of the American League absolutely blew my doors off when I read this today. So the Utica Comets, their general manager, Dan McKinnon, traded his son, Will McKinnon, for future considerations to the Cleveland Monsters. Can you imagine your own dad trades you? He's just had enough. You know what?
You know what? The whole idea of nepotism in any industry has been scrutinized for a long time, because if you act, and I'm going to break it down to a minor hockey level. If you're the coach or you're the GM or you have anything to do with your child's hockey team, either you favor him too much or you're too hard on him. There is no in between. There's no situation where someone goes, he was treated fairly like everyone else. They'll be scrutinized on one side or the other. So was that him just being a good GM thinking, my kid's a good player and I love him to death and he'll always be my son, but I can get a better value coming the other way for the sake of the hockey team? Oh my God, how could you do that to your son? Or if you don't make that trade and they go, he favored his son because he wanted to keep, it's a lose-lose situation for the GM. I mean, the kid in the grand scheme of things probably realizes, all right, well, hey, I'm a hockey player, and he probably understands it. His father's talked to him saying, I love you to death, but I'm trading you. And he goes, okay. But there's never a winning scenario with that.
I love my son, but man, we needed the future considerations. What'd you get? A washing machine. Dude, we needed a washing machine so bad.
Could be. It could go deeper than that. Who knows? But there's never a winning situation where you're having... Look, I remember once upon a time, a family member said, hey, I'm going to buy a rental property with another family member. And I said, that's not a good idea. And he goes, why? And I said, you know what? When it comes to... Like, we don't have a family business. Like, we've never been a family business type of family. So, you know, probably not a good idea. And unfortunately, that relationship fell apart because of some shady things that went on and they don't talk anymore. And that happens. And if you're not a family business and you decide, it's really hard to do that if you're not going to blur the lines. I mean, I feel bad for the Kardashians if we're going to get into that side of things. The fact that they have to live their lives on camera and have their drama on camera, that's not an easy thing to do. Like, when the cameras go off, do you think that just shuts off? I don't necessarily think so.
That's tough, though. We actually, we kind of did the same thing when I was playing junior in English River. I remember our coach was our GM, our president, town mayor, and he also owned the only gas station in town. And our captain, this dude is nasty, had like 50 points by Christmas.
Okay.
Next closest was 8.
Hang on, back up. For those that don't know, where is English River? Give us a little bit of a geography lesson.
So English River is along the English River in Ontario. So let's say 5 hours northeast of Winnipeg, roughly, give or take, in the Dryden-ish area. And so that, at the time, it was the English River Miners and now the Red Lake Miners. They relocated about an hour, I think, north to Red Lake, Ontario. But that was in the SIJHL, the Superior National Junior Hockey League. And at the time, our GM was our coach, our owner, our president, our town mayor. He had the gas station as well. And his daughter, who's a good-looking gal, by the way, was dating our captain, who had 50 points by Christmas time. Next closest guy was like 8 points. This dude was nasty. And I don't know what happened. At Christmas time, he dishes her boyfriend 12 hours away to Sudbury for future considerations.
That is what you call power!
Where do you begin with that? Do you think the daughter pissed him off, was like, you want to listen to me? You're traded, fella. Or he pissed me off and you upset my daughter. I'm trading you to... I never got an answer because the dude got traded. He took a couple sheepdog cold brews, some nitro cold brews, and left town. But I don't know.
Look, again, you'll never know the real story, and it'll be scrutinized till the day the cows come home. But yeah, there's no good scenario when you have a situation like that. I remember once upon a time, I was coaching a hockey team where one of the players was dating one of the other players' sisters, and it was a legit relationship. It wasn't just a one-off. It wasn't a random hookup. Like, they were dating, and that can go one of two ways. Either that works out or it doesn't. And if it doesn't work out halfway through the season, you don't think that's not going to affect the playing relationship or, locker room dynamics? These are all variables that happen inside of that grand equation of how a team operates on and off the ice.
What was that voicemail call we got like 2 or 3 weeks ago where the one guy called in and was like, hey, I got one of my boys. We've been friends forever, but his sister's real hot. I want to, ask her out and take her on a date. How do I do this? Like stuff like that.
Totally. Yeah, 100%. And I gave the advice of saying, you got to be sure and you got to be upfront. Like, it might not work out, but I'm willing to take that chance. And if you're willing to take that chance, you got to take the chance that you might lose that best friend as well. Like, it's a package deal. Family. Thick as blood, man. Like blood always wins. You'll more often than not, 98% of the time, you're going to choose family, right? So it's a risk. And again, I think the rumors are legendary of what happened in the Philadelphia Flyers locker room between one of the most dominant lines of all time between Renberg, Lindros, and Recchi, and some of the things that happened there. So again,
you talking about Lindros crushing Brendan Moore's wife and giving him the share in the locker room before morning skate?
Look, Cleopatra, literally, a woman started a war over love. I mean, there are legendary stories about that. You don't think it doesn't happen on a daily basis inside of offices and hockey teams and whatnot? It's a crazy world we live in, man.
I mean, basically every single war in history was started over some chick to some degree.
More often, you know what? I think they would have probably had an easier time if they would have been wearing a pair of decent underwear.
Don't forget about putting your sword in the sheath. How about putting your ham bone in the sheath? The team at Sheath Underwear, the presenting sponsor since day one, the greatest underwear on earth.
If you enjoyed what you just saw, we do new clips every single day, twice a day on the Clips channel. You see clips right here. And beside Dave's crotch, we have a full-length show every single Sunday, right by my hand.
Click right here.